Today, we will be presenting a case study on the Seikatsu Club Consumer Cooperative through the lens of Shin's 2016 Smart Cooperative Framework. This case is a compelling example of how a grassroots initiative started by housewives in Tokyo evolved into a large-scale, member-led movement for food safety, environmental care, and social innovation. We will explore how this model works, what makes it impactful, and how it speaks to the future of community-driven development. Let's begin with a brief introduction. The Seikatsu Club is a Japanese consumer cooperative that began in the 1960s and continues to shape sustainable practices today. It focuses on issues like food safety, environmental sustainability, and social welfare. This cooperative model is especially important because it shows how organized citizen participation, particularly by women, can directly influence the economy and the society. In this presentation, we will highlight the club's origins, its values, and how it aligns with Shin's Smart Cooperative Framework. The story of Seikatsu Club begins in 1965 when 30 Tokyo housewives concerned about the safety of food and rising use pesticides organized to buy milk in bulk directly from a local farmer. This was during a time when post-war industrialization in Japan was causing environmental and health concerns, such as the milk arsenic scandal. By 1968, the group incorporated as the Seikatsu Club Cooperative. Its core purpose was to provide safe, ethical, and affordable food while allowing members to take what they called autonomous controls of our lives. That founding spirit of self-determination continues to guide the club to this day. Let's take a closer look at the Seikatsu Club's core values, which have guided its works for decades: safety, sustainability, and democracy. First, safety. This value emerged directly from the club's origins. Members wanted food that was safe for their families, free from harmful additives, pesticides, and GMOs. The club continues to uphold strict safety standards and transparency in product sourcing and labeling. Next is sustainability. The club supports local producers, promotes eco-friendly practices, and even invested in renewable energy projects. Their belief is that consumer habits shape society, and sustainable lifestyles are essential for a better future. Finally, democracy. The club is run by its members, for its members. From everyday purchases to strategic decisions, member participation is at the heart of how the cooperative operates. It empowers people, especially women, to have a voice in shaping not just their households, but their communities and the economy. Together, these values create a model that is not just about consumption, but about collective responsibility and a long-term social change. From its small beginnings, the Seikatsu Club has grown into a federation of 33 regional cooperatives across 21 prefectures, serving over 400,000 households. Its growth has been intentional and values-driven, relying on a federated structure that preserves local autonomy while enabling national coordination. This structure has allowed the Seikatsu Club to scale while staying true to its grassroots, community-based origins.
Thanks, Ling Zhao. Next, I will introduce the part about the histories. The history of the Seikatsu Club Consumers Cooperative is a testament to how grassroots actions can transform the societal systems. Beginning in the 1965, when a group of the Turkey housewives alarmed by the 1955 milk arsenic scandal and rising the pesticide use in the post-war Japan, gathered in the living rooms to address a pressing need, the safe and affordable food for their children. Led by activists like the Fumiko Hashimoto's, this 30 women's initiative to cultivate milk pastures from the Sintama farmers, paying 20% less than retail for milk accompanied by handwriting note detailing its productions, an act that rejects anonymity of industrial food chains. This informal group formalized as a Seikatsu Club in the 1968, adopting the mottos, "Take control of your own life," a philosophy set below the 1960s countercultures, but was rooted in the mentoring responsibilities and community and resilience. The 1970s marked a pivotal expansion. In the 1973 oil crisis spiked food prices. The corporate launched the Vegetable Box program, delivering seasonal produce directly from the farmer to the neighborhood, and established a federation structure with 7 regions hubs by 1975. This model allowed the Kansai capitals to source Osaka's specialty vegetables, while the Hodaiko's focus on the dairy, all under shared quality standard. Back in the 1980s, the members of the Life Club took actions. They started to campaign to fight against additives such as the sodium benzoate, which they thought were bad for people's health. To spread the word, they used their own newsletters called the Seikatsu Lotomies. In these newsletters, they published results from the independent labs, tests done by people not connected to big companies. This result shows why this additive might be harmful. People care about this. They want to know what was in their food, and they trust the club effort to keep keep the food safe. As more and more families heard about the companies and read the newsletters, they joined the Life Club. By 1990s, the numbers of members' households had grown to 200,000. This made this Life Club the biggest consumer club in Japan. And in the 21st century, the Seikatsu Club faced new challenges: the corporate organic brand and an aging membership. Its response was a 2005 digital transformation with the Michin and Michin no Equals, an online system connect members to 3,000 farmers where the QR code transport data to special field. Globally, it shared its models with Coop in the South Korea and Taiwan, even collaborations on cross-border organic rice project with Thai farmers since 2010. Today, with 33 regions covered in the 21 prefectures, it operates as a social enterprise. 12 organic processing plants reduce the packaging waste. Lobbying effect inspired the 2015 Food Loss Reductions Act, and Seikatsu educated the young about the food systems. Okay, this is my introduce about the histories. Next part, actually, we'll talk about the impact of the community.
Thanks, Clarence. The Seikatsu Club brand statement is "Lifestyle creates the future." To explain this a little further, they state that the way we live, what we choose to do, how we produce and consume is connected to our children's future. And that is the primary reason as to why they chose to promote a sustainable lifestyle for the future. As you can see in the diagram, Seikatsu Club views food, energy, and care to be very closely connected together in this lifestyle to create the sustainability they strive for. Let's break this down a little further. So, food. It is important for members to develop and consume food directly through producers. These foods are labeled consumer materials as they're not made with the intention to make a profit. Having these clear guidelines for food consumption and production is important to maintain the sustainability for members. These guidelines ensure that things like food prices and ingredients are developed in ways that support transparency and safety for all members. However, it is important to note that when we talk about this concept of food, it's not just directly the food itself, but all aspects of production and consumption of food, like packaging, waste, and safety standards. The second concept of this diagram is energy. Three key words for this component of the sustainable lifestyle framework are reduce, produce, and use. The Seikatsu Club calls this the three pillars, meaning that the Seikatsu Club promotes the idea to reduce energy consumption, produce renewable energy, and use that renewable energy to produce, with the main goal to create a nuclear-free society, which they view as important part to sustainable lifestyle. The third concept is care. Human relations are an important part to creating a sustainable society. In relation to the club's primary ideology of lifestyle creates the future, they state that they have a hope for the future to ensure these human relations flourish. They do this by creating tools to support mutual aid through coordination with social welfare corporations and the workers' collective, which we'll touch a little bit more on further in the slides, to help people live as they want to be and feel like they're a part of a community that they live in. Also ensuring that folks of various abilities, ages, and identifications are supported to live in community as well. So this club has a very distinct principles for each of the components of the sustainability framework. This allows them to create integrity and structure for all of its members. The Seikatsu Club is involved in various community initiatives that help support changes to ensure a sustainable society. We're going to explore three of these initiatives today. The first being the disaster recovery support. As stated by the club in response to a devastating natural disaster that struck Japan in 2011, called the Great East Japan Earthquake, the Seikatsu Club carried out supportive activities to affected members, affiliated producers, and people living in the area. Some of the ways they provided the support was through activities like dispatching staff members to carry out emergency supports, helping affected factories reopen, providing temporary housing, and collecting donations. Secondly is the Workers Collective, also known as a workers cooperative. In this worker collective, each person is considered as both a manager and a worker. The terminology of being hired is non-existent. Instead, the workers themselves contribute to the organization by contributing the necessary funds to work together autonomously. This type of workers cooperative helped to create businesses that achieve functions that are necessary for the community. They're self-funded, self-managed, and self-employed. There are three features to the workers collective. Everyone invests, it's self-managed, and they are working together. Today, there are approximately 15,000 workers that make up about 500 worker collectives. Some of these collectives are, but certainly not limited to, childcare, recycling, catering, health promotion, running clinics, essentially supporting those aspects of life and living within community, food, welfare, environmental, and health. Another important initiative that the Seikatsu Club is involved with within community is at the government level. The club lobbies the government with specific requests, policy proposals, and public observations. By communicating these opinions and observations to both society and government alike, they're creating societal change. The club states, the power of one person may be small, but if people gather together, it can become a force for societal change. To do this, they have tools in place, such as a public comment system, petitions, and signature campaigns. As you can see through these initiatives, supporting community and changing society through lifestyles is at the forefront for the Seikatsu Club. They are a leader in pursuing sustainable consumption and production while proactively working to solve these problems within our local communities for its members. Seikatsu Club is a consumer cooperative. Unlike traditional organizations whose primary goal is to make a profit, the Seikatsu Club thrives on its contribution, participation, and operation of its members. The idea that everyone invests and everyone uses is essential to ensure that the consumer cooperative is effective. Think of it as an ongoing cycle where the members provide investments. This investment is then used to create goods and services, which in turn, these goods and services are used by the members daily. And then it creates a trust and relationship with producers and consumers. And then it contributes to the operations and governance of the Seikatsu Club, which then helps the club to resolve problems and idea sharing, and it continues the cycle of the consumer cooperative. Sustainable Development Goals, sometimes referred to as SDGs, are a set of 17 global objectives established in 2015 by the United Nations to address critical issues that are faced globally. These goals aim to address society and humanity problems such as population growth, poverty, hunger, inequality, the climate crisis, and mass production and consumption that cannot sustain ecosystems. Many entities are now promoting these SDGs through various initiatives with the hope to achieve these goals by 2030. In a 2023 sustainability report provided by the Seikatsu Club, they report that they have 11 priority goals they created to achieve this overall SDG with the global community by the year 2030. They have created an action plan where Seikatsu Club states they are committed to carrying out activities that are consistent with and even go beyond the vision of Sustainable Development Goals. The Seikatsu Club aligns incredibly with Xin's findings and perspectives on social economy. First, let's talk about the emancipatory perspective and how the Seikatsu Club aligns with this perspective. This perspective focuses primarily on the ways cooperatives transform societies and promote both social justice and equality. How does the Seikatsu Club align with this perspective? Well, there are a few very distinct reasons. The club empowers its members to be involved in the decision-making process of the club, ensuring that their role as both self-workers and self-managers is at the forefront. This creates the economic solidarity. Xin focuses on equality and creating an equitable society. In relation, the Seikatsu Club promotes fair trade in their guiding principles to ensure consumer materials are both produced and consumed responsibly. Through this, they're not only empowering producers, but promoting ethical consumption as well as showcasing their social responsibility. Which leads us to the sustainable lifestyle. In this perspective, Xin highlights the need for sustainable practices. The club supports local members, both producers and consumers. As mentioned previously in this analysis, and to revisit the club's brand statement of lifestyle creates the future, you can see just by the guiding principles of the Seikatsu Club, the idea of a sustainable lifestyle is achievable, and it helps to provide guidance to its members in these sustainability practices. Secondly, let's touch on the complementary perspective. This perspective really focuses on the cooperatives within an existing economy and potential alternatives where needed. The Seikatsu Club complements this perspective through its environmental and social activities, such as supporting local, limiting waste materials, and providing guidelines around energy use and consumptions. The Seikatsu Club also addresses the gaps in the economy. It's a consumer cooperative. They created initiatives such as the Workers' Collective. These explanations illustrate how the Seikatsu Club is closely connected with the perspective of Xin's vision of a social economy.
Okay, let's move on to discover how the Seikatsu Club Consumer Cooperative has made a lasting impact on local communities. Xin's theory is applied with three core elements: social economy, social welfare, and social innovation. This is more than just an organization. It's a powerful example of how communities can meet their own needs and reshape local systems from bottom up. In this theory, the social economy is a platform for innovation as it grows from lived experience, not from bureaucracy. The Seikatsu Club is a pioneering member-led model. It doesn't just provide services, it reimagines how services are delivered. For example, it introduced Japan's first consumer-led GMO-free food labeling system, created reusable packaging loops, and developed member-run renewable energy utilities. Through the social network, every citizen, especially women, got involved in local business and policy advocacy. These efforts didn't come from experts or officials, but from citizens solving problems they understood firsthand. That's why Xin argues that bottom-up innovation has greater legitimacy and deeper impact. By creating new ways of organizing care, food access, and energy, members reinvented welfare delivery, not by replacing public systems, but by reshaping them. But let's go deeper into Xin's theoretical framework. Within the framework, social economy refers to economic structures centered on people and values, not just profit. And these structures deliver social welfare like education, healthcare, and childcare. And they support social innovation, new ways to solve problems and build inclusive systems. Xin emphasized that social economy, social welfare, and social innovation are not separate. They form a self-reinforcing ecosystem. When one section is removed, the system will be weakened. Let's take an example from Shonai, Yamagata's prefecture. Within this project, the members grow tomatoes, they process them into sauce, and pack them in reusable jars, and distribute them locally. And the energy they're using in the factory are solar energy. The income helps fund childcare services. And as we can see in this project, it's not just a project, it's a living circular system. Here, the cooperative model allowed members to invest together. This enables innovation like clean energy. The resulting welfare outcomes are jobs, childcare, and food access. They are boosted with participation, further strengthening the cooperative. So instead of a one-way process, it's a circle, just as Xin described. The impact is especially clear at the community level. There are impacts on the trust and participation growth because members are part of the system, not just consumers. And moreover, the producers gain predictability through pre-orders. The energy they're using reduces the carbon dioxide footprints through reusable containers and local logistics. And we can see in this project their resources misuse are reduced to some extent. And women and other underrepresented groups gain a voice thanks to the cooperative's democratic structure. These are not abstract ideas. They are visible results of the social economy, social welfare, social innovation model working together. The Seikatsu Club proves that grassroots solutions can work without waiting for top-down change. With a stronger social ties, people collaborate together, not just transact. It also enhances the economic stability with pre-orders and reduce market risks. And the environmental resilience are also built with clean energy and low waste systems. And civic empowerment, especially for women in local governance, are also enhanced. This is synergy in action. Social economy structures enable innovation, which then delivers real welfare. And in turn, this welfare outcomes strengthen the structure, completing the whole resilient cycle. It's a model built on empowerment, care, and innovation. It's worth studying, not just in Japan, but anywhere where community resilience is essential.
Okay, Seikatsu Club's strength is balance according to the Shin framework. It balances the individual freedoms with shared goals. Unlike the rigid top-down systems, it empowers the members to act individually while united for a fair, lasting food system prioritizes communities over profit, the core of the community groups. The club uses fair communities with equal producers, consumers say. Farmers, shoppers, and organizers collaborate as equals on food productions, pricings, and distributions, ensuring the decisions reflect community needs, not individual or corporate interest. Perseverance is morals. The growing means locals, communities need the influence. Each cooperative part of the Life Club adapt to local needs while upholding the community before the profit. This local group turns the moral food system's visions into the realities and responding flexible to challenges. Okay, this is our group's presentations about the Seikatsu Club. Thanks for your watching.